everyone. Welcome. We are here for one more Vision Train Focus, a spotlight for the Vision Train crew. And today we have Michelle Muller as the guest artist, this incredible sister that I have here in the Vision Train for a long, long time. And it's really nice that we are here together to focus on this deep dive on her life, on her art and her work. And so I am Marina Zion Rebels, and I am from Brazil. So please excuse me my English. It's not perfect. English is not my first language, but I try my best. Uh, and well, I'm here on the Vision Train, this space station online, this international community of artists from all over the globe. Today we have a beautiful room here with Chantel, Danielle, Abra, Suri, Zane, Michelle, and Amanda Sage and the Gunnison Arts Center crew creating here with us. Yay! I'm so glad that you're all here. And if you want to jump on the Vision Train, just go to visiontrain.org and join this Zoom room where you can create with artists from all over and be inspired. And today we will jump to a presentation about the life of Michelle, this one that has a really cute one. Hey Michelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. Just here with
Hey,
my buddy boy Zane. So he's jumping all over me.
yay.
It should go all right. Zane, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Yeah, are you ready to listen to the presentation? Hi. Yeah.
Let's hear about this presentation. I am really excited to know more about your life and really glad that you accept this invitation to be here in the spotlight with us.
Zane, don't close that. No, no, no.
We
Hi.
need to see. It
Oh,
was
I know it's
magic.
funny, but please, baby, don't do this today. I'm doing an interview. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
the
happy to be here. I'm
presentation.
sorry. He was supposed to have some care, so this is unexpected to have Zane, but it is what it is. 'Cause, I love him. To have
This
him
is
around.
perfect. This is like your best buddy, like the best person that you can be around, and he's like right on your lap. Wow.
Yeah. And
We appreciate his presence here as well. Yeah.
cool.
This, yeah,
All
little
right.
kiddo
So I made a
energy.
so yeah, I
Mhm.
made a PowerPoint presentation. Should I just like start with that, or what do you think?
Yes, please, let's share. I'm really excited to see what you put together for us.
Well, yeah, I did a couple presentations for like Amanda's workshops before, so
Yeah, I want to know more about that
um
as well.
and
And we are working.
yeah, I'm used to
And
just sharing computer audio, but in this part, I should say PowerPoint is background or screen. Share screen.
yeah, you just share screen, like you open. Yes, exactly.
See this?
Yes, and you just need to put like a full screen.
Like this?
Perfect. Wow.
Yeah, it's just a funny picture. There's so many pictures to choose from. There's so many sketches, there's so many drawings, and it's like, what the like, yeah. So it's kind of I'm just trusting. I just picked whatever ones, That's meant to be for this moment, I guess. So,
You're beautiful. Let's do it.
okay. So, yeah, this is, okay, one second. Let's mute me. Okay, no. This is me, Zane, and I'm gonna start my presentation. So we're gonna be quiet, okay, and listen. So yeah, my name is Michelle Muller. I'm born from I was born in London, Ontario, Canada, and I'm a Virgo. I'm born September 6th, 1988. So I just had my birthday on the weekend, and I had a nice time going to birthday parties for Zane, celebrating life. Um, yeah, so this was I just threw in a few pictures of me. This is me and my dad. I'm playing chess, and we were really close growing up. Played a lot of chess. I did a lot of farming with my dad. Um, I had a family of six, so there was four siblings and two parents. So I was the here, and my two older sisters were 2 years apart, and I was 2 years apart from them. Like we were all 2 years apart, and then my younger brother, was 3 years younger. But anyway, these are just some funny family photos. My brother, me, my two sisters, and my dad. Is Michael, Michelle, Lindsay, Heidi. Were you like me? Yeah, he was in that picture. And then, yeah, this is when we were older. Just thought, and then my mom's in there. So we haven't had a family picture for a long time. So we used to always do them. It's kind of funny. This was, yeah, us in BC. My sister, my dad, mom, and me. And me and my dad, my cat. And there's me as a baby. So, but that was just a little background for my family, where I come from. Like, I come from a Dutch Catholic family, actually, Dutch mainly, like also Europe, uh, Irish and English and Scottish on my mom's side. Anyways, that's blah blah blah. I ended up, yeah, growing up on a farm, like being pretty artistic as a child. Like we did dance too and everything. I think I was really artistic as a child, but for some reason, I mean, I'll probably get through it. I didn't do art all through all of high school. I went on a big scientific journey as a scientist and like I yeah, then came back to art not till like 2016 probably. So this is me graduating from biotechnology. I did bachelor in applied technology at Fanshawe College because I was interested in research and yeah, basically, I was going to be true to my story, but yeah, I knew about a genetic disease in my family. So in the back of my mind, I had a really big family and I was always told it was genetic and we had no like there was nothing we could do. So obviously, I was interested in genetics and human genetics and the human genome, and so I somehow ended up in this biotechnology program because I secretly wanted to be a researcher, but I was too scared to admit it. But yeah, my this is my story. I've debated whether like I want to repeat some of these words or even repeat this story, but it is my story. But so it's like my dad had a genetic brain disease and my whole family was at risk. So I was cared about that and I was also, admittedly scared myself on some level. And I also want to do something about it. So I thought becoming a researcher to help find a cure would be a good idea. So that was kind of like where I was going at the time and why I did biotechnology. A long story short, then I did my master's in neuroscience from the University of British Columbia. That was such a beautiful, beautiful school at West and a great experience. I don't have any photos from them because I lost them all. But I was also doing a lot. I was doing a lot of volunteer work for the Huntington Society of Canada, and I was on the board of directors for the Vancouver chapter, and I was going all over the world to these Huntington Society meetings, these Huntington's disease conferences. And I yeah, I was getting paid and covered to do that. I'll come back to that. But then basically this is just an intro. So yeah, I got into a near-death car accident, which led me to healing and somatic studies as well after my master's. And then later I discovered Amanda Sage and then took my first art workshop with Amanda Sage and then became like really interested in art. And, that led to the vision train. And then right now I'm teaching as a teacher. I'm working as a supply teacher in the Catholic school board where I grew up. And this is like yeah, it was not planned at all. It was very like, um, I don't know, synchronistic and definitely meant to be, I guess, or something, full circle. But anyway, so I'm just flipping through quick to look at, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on my timer too, see how long. But this is a drawing I did in grade 4. It was with pastel. It was a Van Gogh. And yeah, just to show you, like, I really did love art. I thought this was so fun and incredible. Like I would have just done more and more and more of this, but you only get to do so much in art class in school. But I just like always loved making my work very full and colorful and was like full on with and I had a lot more, but these are the only two I have here to show. But I really, really excelled in art as a child, I would say. But then I did not do art for a long time. This next picture, this is like when I was 18 years old or 19 or 20, probably when I decided to like try doing a painting. I don't even know where it came from or why I like this picture, but I was copying a picture, but yeah, so I didn't really want to show this photo either, but I showed a friend today and it's very impactful. I know it is because I had a really bad car accident and this is the car accident I was in. This was my car going head on to a recycling truck. And the funny thing is I on Saturday I just met a man at the party down the road where I grew up. I'm living right now where I grew up and yeah, man, I just met at this party. Was the rescue guy who came to the scene of my accident. So he couldn't even believe he was talking to me and that I'd lived through it. And I remember it. And it was, yeah, not to like dwell on it, but it was 2011. So, and um, yeah, it was a total accident where my car slipped on ice and then I went head on into a recycling truck going 80 kilometers an hour into each other. So my car was wrapped around it. And it was a miracle that I lived. So, regardless of whatever else in my life, I was just pretty lucky to be alive. And yeah, I was only in the hospital for a week. I got flown in a helicopter to the hospital because I was unconscious and I collapsed both my lungs and I broke 12 spots in my ribs and I had 5 fractured vertebrae in my neck and my thoracic spine. So it was shocking. But there's lots of theories I have. I mean, I don't know about why it happened but it definitely like made me feel grateful for life, to be alive again. I felt kicked in the ass in the end, though, by the universe to get my shit together. That's for sure. On some level, that kind of like rolled down the road. But yeah, it's just part of my story. And I think it's a blessing that I lived through it. Anyway, yeah, the funny thing is, like, I didn't know if I want to mention any of this, to be honest. But, then, yeah, like, I was super involved in the Huntington Society of Canada, and was, I basically found out my dad had Huntington's disease, and he was diagnosed and his mother died and anyway all these people in my family were having it, a big family, so I became like very interested in volunteering and raising money and joining like the efforts, and that's what I did for many years with my energy to try to like do something about it. And especially after getting in the car accident, I was like I kind of like didn't have as much fear about facing it, I guess you could say, because I felt like, I could have been dead anyways, and like here I am, I'm just gonna face it head on, and I wanted to look at it, and that's why I was pursuing research. And then, yeah, this is just a weird painting. I can't even remember what year it came from, but I have a couple like this I couldn't find, but they're like, you know, very amateur, but like I was just expressing it later in life through this like a lot of questions around the genome and like genetics and like um anyways, there's another one, but this one, so then basically when I went to UBC, I worked there for 3 years, and as a graduate student, I did a thesis on Huntington's disease, and my research was iron dysregulation in Huntington's disease. And I published this review in the Journal of Neurochemistry. So I'm kind of proud of that, I guess. But I did not finish a PhD, which was my original plan. I really wanted to do a PhD to pursue research and continue. Like I went to like, European countries every year to do this conferences, and I was learning so much. I was taking in so much that I wish I had more output to put out in terms of blogs or like yeah, expressing all of the information I was kind of collecting. And I still have, I'm not sure what to do with all this yet, to be honest. I just don't know. I don't know. So it's just part of my story, but I did make this diagram as an artist during my mass or during for this review article. I mean, like that was my form of art. Um, yeah, then living in BC. I also like I don't know why I just found this picture last minute, but it was like I went to, oh my God, because it's so funny, small world. There's Delvin, and I went to like a permaculture workshop too at the time. I guess this picture just goes to show like when I was living in BC, I really got connected to the mountains and the land and like the earth and like learning a lot more about permaculture and like our actions and intentions and things like this. And also, I was working as a mental health worker down there at the downtown east side, which gave me another like interesting, um, where Gabor Mate actually used to work, and he wrote about his books about. I don't know if you know Gabor Mate, but he's kind of like this famous Canadian doctor that was working with like the addictions and safe harm reduction kind of stuff. Anyways, so I did all that. We'll see how this all comes together. Um, this was a YouTube. I just threw this in today because you told me this was on YouTube. And it's funny because I have this video on YouTube that has had a lot of views. It's from 12 years ago, but it was talking about like, yeah, Huntington's disease testing and stuff. And as much as I don't want to talk about this stuff, I don't know. I always feel like there needs to be a follow-up. And so here I am talking just about my life because there was like, I don't know, like 200 comments of people wanting to know more about my journey. And I haven't really, I guess this is it. This is my journey. I'm here now making art. And if anybody wants to know, we'll see. I'll show you more about my art. And yeah, it's it's an interesting thing. I'll just be honest. Okay, I'm sorry that I'm stumbling on my words because I just don't know if I want to talk about it, but it's like I did this stupid genetic test for this disease that I don't want to get. And then it's like you find out you have this genetic mutation for this disease, but how much can like our intentions and like prayer and our like work we do in the world like really have effect or on like these types of diseases and things, especially in regards to visionary art, because it's like the more I've really done in I feel like starting to understand that like our life is visionary art. So like it is what we want to create and focus on, and like how much can we really contribute to that with our words and actions, or like are we just predetermined to this like crazy this like terrible fate that we don't have anything to do about, like so this is kind of what I've been struggling with before for understanding too. Yeah, and on the higher side of things, feeling empowered by and feeling like I can stand up to this and that I can everything can be okay. And I'm not sure yet how everything I've done in my life is even going to come together. But um So I'm getting into my artwork, but anyways, this is important because like gyrokinesis is something I offer on the Vision Train, and I love it. And I discovered it when I was in Vancouver doing my master's. So I had this terrible car accident, and then I was doing my master's, and I ended up in really terrible pain because I was so disconnected from my body and understanding like I just ended up in chronic pain. I didn't know how to get out of it. So eventually I found this exercise, which just felt a lot different than other exercises that allowed me to like find freedom within my body, which was like the most amazing feeling. I couldn't believe it. That I looked forward to it every week and I knew I was going to get trained. And I went to Germany and I got my certification in this. And I also, yeah, I still do it and I still practice it and it's very unique and I don't know, maybe I was a little too obsessed with it at one point. But like I do believe in it. So we all have our own unique path and this is kind of something that really spoke to my body because I was a dancer as well. So it allows the body to move in natural ways that it's born to move based on the architecture of our bones. So it makes sense, and it feels good too. And it empowers me because of everything I was just talking about, especially with regards to Huntington's and the car accident. There's been a lot of pain and fear. So like to find something where I'm like coming into my body and you're being like the one in command and taking yourself into alignment, like it feels so empowering and amazing. So I discovered this while I was in neuroscience and I truly felt like this was actually experiential neuroscience that I wanted to like look further into rather than because the I was in pharmaceutical research, and that was very neuroreductionist viewpoint, and like I felt like missing a bigger picture and bigger connections. Like I couldn't quite grasp it, and I felt disempowered by the conferences and by the type of research. In the lab I was in, no matter what kind of research article came out, the article was completely dissected to even doubt anything is true about it. So it's like it would leave me feeling like and I got to say one of the most powerful conferences I went to on Huntington's disease was in Spain about dance and it was about improvisational dance particularly because this is a movement disorder. I guess I didn't really say what it was, but it's a genetic disease that deteriorates your brain and it was one of the first genes discovered before the Human Genome Project. So there's so much information on it. It kind of almost like spearheaded the Human Genome Project by having all these people because they were like it's so genetically dominantly inherited, like the Mendel's pea plant experiment, like they can really track it. And then they were able to isolate the gene, which they haven't done for not a lot of other diseases. So this disease is really interesting and rare, and they can actually put this disease directly into mice to give it to them so that they can study it, um, which is interesting and was interesting. And there's lots of, neural ethical concerns about comparing mice to men on this kind of level and like diseases and phenotypes where I don't know if it's because I got into this car accident or something that like really opened me up to look at life more spiritually. Like I don't know if like we're overlooking some kind of deeper spiritual connection, but that when we're interfering and believing some things that we can change or even the back of my mind like I'm feeling love and the more I looked into NDEs and stuff there's something people come back about with their like really experience this love and I don't necessarily think I experienced this love. I don't remember anything, but I just know like when I did go back to the lab, I always believe that like love is the way and that we can like be there for those we love with disease, like no matter what. But it's still hard to see people suffering. And I want to be able to also balance that with understanding like if there's a pharmaceutical treatment that can help people to alleviate their suffering, of course I want that. So like, you know, not turning away from either or, but I've been kind of traveling this middle path of my heart really to see what I'm meant to do. I mean, okay, I haven't even yeah, this is me and my dad, and so there's me in the I didn't find any of these pictures, but yeah, there's me as a scientist in the bottom corner. I was working in the lab. I had this photo shoot done at this lab. Um, but me and my dad were featured in this book about Huntington's disease because yeah, my dad is in a nursing home now too, and he's been suffering from it for, over 15 years, but blah, blah, blah. This isn't about that. This presentation isn't meant to be about that, but this is me in Germany getting certified later in this amazing exercise that I love. And I guess I threw in some pictures here last minute of like sketches during this time that like I just started creating art again after I started moving and healing my body, and like art just started coming out, and it's like kind of empowering and feeling connected to the universe and a lot of these lines and spirals and um yeah, the feelings I was feeling from discovering gyrokinesis and this empowering feeling within. This is kind of a more weird one. That was finding who I am, I feel, or something. But yeah, this is my neck, and I'm feeling like this eagle lifting me up, like and I was identifying, like I feel chronic pain, like these things felt like cables, so I was drawing them out to try to like identify them, and yeah, I also feel like starting to feel opening and support. So yeah, then I got into um then after I finished my master's in neuroscience. I did go to Toronto eventually and get a job as a science writer, and I did a lot more writing on like the biotechnology in industry commercialization stuff, um, subjects, I mean, but yeah, then I ended up getting into gyro and stuff and working with kids with special needs and doing a lot of movement programs. And this wasn't even planned. It was because I wanted to find more healing actually. And I didn't know I was looking into body mind centering courses, and it just like, I just ended up working with certain people that were dancers, and then they were training me, and then I had to work with these kids with special needs and yeah, do movement programs. And it was amazing because these kids have intellectual disability or physical or something, and the whole purpose of the work was to use our hands-on care and to break down motor milestones, um, to get kids to achieve each motor milestone that they missed, even if they were disabled or like had a physical issue in the way. Like we would put them on the floor and roll them, or like, like just get them to do it with our hands, with love, and like with counting, and like, it's these like, it was really interesting because I think once, and we filmed documentaries and stuff, and then once they started to learn reach these motor milestones, these developmental milestones, then they were reaching other milestones in their life, like, so yeah, it was really interesting. And then I got into doing like a lot of work with kids, and I did like mindfulness art camps a lot later, and stuff like that. So this was a photo from that. But okay, this was my art in Vancouver when I took an art workshop after my car accident. And I did take, this is a poem, so I'll read it. Because this was a random healing workshop I went to with watercolor, and like I hadn't painted or anything. We had to write a poem, but this just really resonated with me. I know it's not the greatest piece of art, but to me it meant a lot because I was studying this movement disorder in my family as well. So it says, and then we had to write a poem on the spot. It says, "My body, part of an energetic universe. Sometimes I forget and feel I am cursed. But then the fire burns, awakening my soul. I feel free like dancing, spiritual energies flowing once again to make me feel whole. But whole not just within myself, but universal energies I can share. That is love and my duty to care." And I feel like, yeah, that was nice. And then anyway, then I joined this body mind program. The real benefit of being in that program was they got me to stop being on social media. Got me going to conferences on Huntington's, everything. They really unplugged me from everything, which I was really resistant to quite a bit. But Once I did, it's like they really wanted me to get to the essence of who I was, and that was I deeply appreciate later. And like we did a lot of improvisational dance together, and they and then like I didn't experience anything like that before. Where I feel like I was like truly high on drugs after we'd be improving for 2, 3 hours. And then feel like it was so like on MDMA or something. Like it was just like unbelievable. And then my teachers would try to get me to draw my experiences or something. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even done that. Like they were really like, I don't know why they even pushed it in me. They saw something in me, I guess, with art. And there was a bunch of art during this time. I was just after meditation too. And this one too. This was my first real painting. So they got me in a room and like I mean so much was happening. I had to live on my own. I was alone at Christmas. I was all alone. I was like crying every day. But they just want me to face some shit. And they said they knew I'd be thank them later. And I am like thankful because I wouldn't have made this drawing. I at first like they're just like made me draw and I didn't even have anything to draw. So I ended up drawing this and then I ended up painting it. And I never even used watercolor before this really. So it turned out pretty nice and it means a lot to me. It does mean a lot to me looking back on it. It's called Body Mind Hierarchy. And I was learning a lot in that course regarding like the emotional flow and I guess this is the organs, the brain, the heart, the stomach, the spine. We're working with a lot of the spine meditations and stuff, and the head is just expression, the arms like whatever, true dance, but it's still just like um yeah, it just was good. Anyway, so that was one of my first real paintings, I think. And then yeah, I don't know why this is there. It's just a collaboration with my niece. I just became art crazy, I guess. And then I was doing contact dance and like taking workshops all the time. I remember coming home and just having to draw this because I was moving so much. It was so much movement of the body. Like I had to draw it when I came home. Not that it's anything special, but there's something interesting with movement and like that need to express, I think. But okay, then I was in this Amanda Sage class, the first time I took Amanda Sage class. So I I didn't end up in that body mind program. My life took a left turn and I was like really distraught and scared and lost. And I somehow came across Amanda on Instagram and I was amazed to see such a young, beautiful person creating the art. Because I didn't even know it was the art that like attracted me first, and then I saw the person behind it too. It was just like wow. Then I saw she had a workshop coming up, so I signed up. And this was the first one. I did my self portrait and then, yeah, this is what it looked like. I never used oil paint before, and I painted after 7 days looking in the mirror, and that was my portrait. And it really felt deep. It was a nice, beautiful experience. I was amazed. And Joe Bob was there too, and it was their first workshop together, actually, that I was at. And so it was nice to get those downloads and I just felt like I finally felt like I felt like I finally found myself in a way where it was like I felt like I was an artist and I was always meant to be an artist and I just finally and I being around artists in that whole workshop it just felt like home like I'm sure everybody feels that about artists though because artists are great and like they're so much more like chill. And then yeah, I actually brought it home and then touched it up and then of course I overwork it. This is what you're gonna see about all my paintings to come until I learn how to stop. It's good though. This I called it Coco Manca. I like it. Anyway, this is just I'm gonna flip through this all quick, but it's like just nature time. So then after Amanda's workshop, I'm like, oh, I'm an artist. And then I feel like I need to paint everywhere. And I was trying to like, yeah, do a lot more self-portraits, just drawing in the mirror, portrait of my friend, portrait of me in the forest, like portrait of people I knew. And then it turned into like a yeah, portrait and a sacred geometry painting with the earth. But then I went to another Amanda Stage workshop because I my boyfriend at the time encouraged me to do it in Costa Rica because we wanted to go to Envision. So I went to Punta Mona after to work with Amanda again, and this time I did my boyfriend's portrait, and I had like all these photos to show, which is just kind of funny because I totally overworked it. Like this was the end. And then I went so far with it. This is like many months after the workshop. And then I think it's completely white now. Like I think it's totally covered up, like a lot. But this is the process and it is what it is. And like you learn a lot along the way. So even looking back at these photos, like anyway, there's me and Amanda too in the jungle. But yeah, then I can't, yeah, I'm still like, oh, I'm a painter. I gotta paint. And so I paint the backyard. And then I did another self-portrait in the mirror with some friends and I was living in nature with wolves and I had this whole wolf thing because of a dream I had. I'm not gonna go into it, but like it did make me really feel deep, deep trust for the universe. I had these wolves come in my dream, and then instead of killing me, which I thought they were going to do, and they were white, they started licking my cheek, and then I woke up crying. It was kind of like this metaphor for like feeling the universe is actually on your side, and like you don't have so much to be scared of. Um, but still, I was living in the forest. I feel like I need to connect with the wolf. And the wolves, I saw them a lot. I painted them here on the wall too, but I really did see them in the forest a lot too, but I haven't connected so much with them. But anyway, then I painted like my boyfriend's cat to just keep practicing painting. And that was a nice painting. And then another one I started more like at this technique um was yeah, I had a lot of the shots, but it was kind of like asking me what I'm doing. It's kind of Virgo, Earth Woman, and yeah, and then there's some pretty ugly like process pictures, but I skipped most of them. But this is the ending, and it was nice. And today I think it looks more like this. And I think that one's a little digitally enhanced at the end. But yeah, I do really like this painting because still is one of my favorites, I think, when I look back that like it was really pure and it felt true and it felt like it was me during my own discovery of like feeling like how important alignment is and that we are all connected to the whole earth and that our actions matter, like our hands, like what comes out of our hands, like affects the whole earth and that we're unite with nature and star tetrahedron. Yeah, I really got into sacred geometry reading about it, so I get more into that later, but I still am discovering a lot. And then shortly after this painting, like this painting came and it was just a random one, and then yeah, I just saw like right away saw this is what I saw an angel from these little marks, like an angel with a paintbrush, and then it became this painting, which was really meaningful to me at the time too, because it was like I feel like giving me confirmation that I don't know if it's giving me confirmation or, my own projection, but that we can kind of like we are co-creating our DNA, I guess. And I don't know if we can change it, but we are it's definitely interconnected. And and maybe there's this showing there's more support than we realized too with Angel. And yeah, then I went to Vienna Academy of Visionary Art. And this is on your Okay, I'm showing this painting. So this is the one with the wolf too. So this is where wanted to bring that wolf into painting from my dream. It's okay. And this is where I studied the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art with Autumn Sky. So this is kind of her process she took us through. And this is the background. I started and then the sky and oh I missed and then this is the picture that came in and yeah, I kind of liked it the best here, but that's the thing about paintings and the process. This is how it ended up. This is how it ended up actually first. And then it ended up I changed the outfit, but I ended up calling it Quantum Starseed and it's yeah, it's a big painting. It's a meter tall. He's okay up here. It's fine. But yeah, it kind of interesting, definitely interesting picture. It looks like a Disney kind of cover. I feel like, and I felt a little embarrassed about it at the time, to be honest. but it's not embarrassing, but it's just like yeah, kind of showing like we have the choices in our own hands. The atom that she's holding, and like that we have all the choices are possible, and like we are responsible, and it's in our hands. And like, I don't know, the spirit guide is here with me, but that's kind of my take on it. Um, and she's wearing kind of a Magdalene kind of like shawl, but um, yeah. Then this is another painting okay. Kind of find this kind of had this person come in my life that felt like this like guide, and they were like telling me I'm never gonna up level my painting until I learn how to paint from my emotions and like my pain, and I think I'm still working on this because I don't know, but he got me to paint my anger pain, and then this is what came out, which was like a cell. It almost looks intracellular, and it looks like a lot of damage is going on in the cells. And this is kind of like really random, but it has to do with probably a lot with the Huntington's disease and the genetic disease in my family that's underneath everything, and caused a lot of fear. And yeah, I haven't really explored it too much more. I just thought it was I want to explore more of this though. That's just like really raw, and I don't even have to show anybody because it's not like I really wanted to even show this, but it's kind of, I'm trying to understand from giving this presentation my own story. Um, yeah, and then so then, but I just keep practicing because I want to keep practicing, and like so I practice. I paint my a little girl I'm nannying. I'm just down the street. She's like 3 or 4. Yeah, so I did her portrait, and then over here. They're right there on the table, sweetie. And this is actually one of the first commissions I got, and it's kind of funny. Like, it's not the best. I mean, I'm like, I don't know if I should show it, but I already am. So, anyways, these are 2 boys I did, and the thing is, we keep getting better as artists. So it's like, oh gosh, I could have done that better. But I've reached out to him, let him know I'm here if he wants something in the future for a deal for supporting me. But anyways, not really part of the story. This is more like this one is more part of the story where a bird came, and it's more like this one's called Liberating Expression, and I don't know if it's talking about DNA, but I was, needing to let go of things, needing to let go to liberate the expression by letting go. And anyway, that's kind of the message from this one. And maybe like deeper in our genes, there's like reflections of how we're living, This one I did with Alex and Allison Gray and a 7-day workshop. This was my self-portrait at the end of it. And I had another painting that I didn't finish and I forgot to put on here, but yeah, I just didn't really know what to put besides the portrait, and it was okay that way. And I don't know if it's really done, but I think it's done for what it is, and it's just fun to do all these self-portraits over the years, see how they evolve and remember how I felt while making them. But tickle? Okay. And then yeah, during Amanda Sage's workshop, I also did this work. I went back and did another one at Cosm, and I made this self-portrait, and then this was another painting I made on the side, like secretly, kind of, was like trying to make it quick. And it was pretty cool, and it's interesting. It comes down into like healing and expression, which has kind of like been a theme, and like release. And for some reason, I painted over this painting, and I don't have it anymore. I mean, it's still kind of like buried somewhere, but I don't know. I'm sharing it because it's part of the journey. And that was the drawing it started as. And this is a mushroom painting. This is the mushroom painting. We all did a mushroom painting during 2020 for the exhibition. I didn't bother putting all the process pics. I have process pics for every painting, but it ended up like this, and it was fun, and it kind of brought us together to um reveal the mycelial network. Hey Zane, can you be quiet, sweetie? Um, yeah, the mycelial network that we all are. We're all looking at the same kind of like light. And anyway, that'll always remind me of that time during COVID when we were on the vision train. And yeah, try to just flip through quick. There was a few more during COVID. Like this is only one stage of it. And again, I don't have this painting at this stage anymore, but it's just kind of what I was creating. And I did another self-portrait during this time. I wrote some nice poems on my Instagram, but I don't have them here with me. But it's a powerful practice looking in the mirror. That is something I've been doing every year since I met Amanda. Um, and so this one kind of went into more like this disease or entities kind of like that I'm scared of or that I don't want to be possess me. This is like the poem kind of. It'd probably be more powerful to read it, but yeah, but then this one is just like looking at who I am and like being protected by the light. Um, and then I did a little mural with my friend close by, like with spray paint, and that was really fun. I would love to like do more spray paint and murals and then I got into face painting like during COVID, like on the vision train with Karen Chroma. And then ever since then, I've been doing a lot more face painting for like kids' birthday parties and a little face painting here and there for people. And less on myself. These are all pictures of myself, but that's just the way I discovered it. But yeah, I check out my Instagram. I'm doing like a lot more kids and stuff. And then just during COVID online, I just did a lot more. No, during the vision train, I don't need to go into what the vision train was, but for me during COVID, it was a lifesaver, and I was on there like every day, and I was a conductor, and like it was what I looked forward to in my life doing. And so, and then we started doing courses and stuff. So this was with David Heskin, and then I even got a commission for this during that time. Actually, this was someone who passed away, and their uncle, and I painted for them. Um, but I was quite lonely, but it allowed me to like express this, and I haven't finished a lot of these paintings. A lot of my paintings I was gonna show are like all unfinished paintings, but this is a beautiful my niece, and I got like a chance to honor her, and I still have that here too. Just flowers, just try and learn other techniques and color theories and like Stefan. This is a drawing class by Stefan and still life with I think Stefan too. Another one, still life. So this is like 2020. It was like, yeah, amazing time. The vision train flourished and I art did flourish. I have so much more art to show them, but I didn't put it all up. But um, funny enough, this is the one I did with Michael Fuchs, and it's not. This was a process picture, but this is right before I had a baby, and I was kind of like praying. Like there was this Vision Seeds workshop by Amanda, and so when I took Vision Seeds, literally, I was like, wanting to vision my seeds being clean and clear, not for this stupid thing I was talking about, but. Anyway, this is then and my dad was in the backyard right before he went to the nursing home. This was like the last 3 days he was home, and I painted him on the porch. He used to always watch me paint, and he was always really observant, and yeah, I always felt very connected to him. So it was really nice to paint him right before he went to the nursing home, and yeah, I miss him. And this is it. And then I even had him painting. So this is him standing at the easel. He has Huntington's and like a neurodegenerative disorder. But I got him up painting at the easel. And actually, when I was watching him, it was so beautiful. And I could see he got into a flow and was enjoying it. Even though later I said, "Did you like it?" He said no. But I know he did. And then I painted our family tree on the front, but just like painting him, my cat sleeping on his head, Leonardo da Vinci skull, like drawing classes, Mrs. Stefan. This is with Amanda Sage. I did like a little portrait of a woman. Okay, and then I was working as a personal support worker at the nursing home, and I did Amanda's workshop for a month, and I had to do a portrait of someone. I chose my aunt, and this was how it ended up, and that was really special. It took me a whole month to work on it, and yeah, I wasn't planning to be a personal support worker, and I ended up working there for 8 months at the nursing home during COVID, and it was a really special time to be there for people when their families couldn't be there, and to really humble myself as well to caring for people right before they were dying, and they're, bathing them and taking them to the bathroom, and yeah, so I really value that time. And I don't know, this painting came out. She was a music teacher, so that, yeah, and the two like bluebirds is like her mom and her dad, and then like all her family was represented by the flowers. And then I was like, yeah, painting at the nursing home. Okay, this one I just wanted to share because this is a really like weird painting. If you look at it, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. This is a black painting, and a Stefan was leading some kind of thing on the vision train meditation, and this is what I painted. But slowly it evolved, and this was like over months, kind of like I went back to work on it, and it looks really messy. But look, it really comes together, and it's hard for me to even believe looking back, like how it came together and ended up like this. I wouldn't say it's even finished or complete, but this was how the painting ended up, and it was a time when I cleaned up a lot of I wasn't drinking or smoking anything, like anything. And yeah, I had a real healing energy come through that came to paint this through me. That's what it really felt like. And I could feel it physically, like I could feel it. So this was an interesting one that just showed me what the state you're in can affect a painting, or and then how it can also make it worse. Oh, we just bumped. It's okay, buddy. Uh-oh. Okay, so anyway, there's a lot more to come, but this is another one, Frida Kahlo. So this one was like during COVID. This was the first stage, and then we did surgery. This was with Amanda, and then like all touch-ups, and it ended up like this. And yeah, it's really meaningful too because I feel like I really went deep with Frida during this time. Yeah, it's right there, buddy. And
Right
it's
there.
on the wall. And yeah, she went through a lot, and I felt for her deeply. And not just her, like through her pain. And maybe it was um I don't know. I love her. I just gotta say that from that experience with her. But anyways, then was just gonna say I had a baby, pretty much, Zane. Yeah, and I was this is my self-portrait. I was pregnant with Zane, and I kept painting. Zane, who's that?
Mm,
Who's that cutie?
Who is it?
Is that you? Hanging
Yeah.
with mommy.
Yeah.
That's what your shirt says in it. So yeah, having a baby was interesting because I was like full on painting.
Small little baby.
Yeah, and like I was working at a nursing home. All I cared about was painting. So to be then to like took me on a totally different path, and what? Um,
Ew.
yeah, this was a painting. So this was during like
Guy.
that's a woman. I didn't finish it, but it's Michael Fuchs painting, and I was just showing like the other painting. I tried to do more watercolor since I had a baby, so I didn't use oil. And these are just some of the kind of things that came out.
I did.
And drawing charcoal of my friend who I sat with, doing medicine with for quite many years as well, which was part of the journey because I always wanted to try it, I guess, and because I was in pharmaceutical research and I was interested in other ways of healing and things, so I was definitely exploring a lot. And oh my gosh, stinky. Yeah, then drawing, the guy, Sorry. I'm gonna get through this real quick. Okay. Yeah, drawing skulls and taxidermy because I was with a hunter trying to make the best of it. But I had some oil painting of this, which is much nicer. I couldn't find it, but doing some life modeling and yeah, just trying to like honor nature more. I definitely want to do a lot more landscape and like things I love in life. And yeah, that was more body painting with my friend. And yeah, this is a portrait of my little buddy boy Zane. It started out just kind of like just so out of the moment of inspiration. I unexpected inspiration. And then I only put one process. This is the picture. Him sleeping at the cottage.
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah. And I'm sleeping in some plums.
Plums. Yeah, those are plums.
Why was I sleeping?
Why? Because his dad was making brandy from the plums. That's why the plums.
Played with nobody. Why was
Yeah.
I sleeping?
Well, you were in the house and I put you beside a tree in the picture, so it's kind of funny. But anyway, it was good to get a painting done of like with my son while I had him, and I would usually wear him on me while I was working on it. But yeah, then I got more into sacred geometry, which was good because I didn't want to. It was just easier with a little baby, you know, to just use pencil kind of sacred geometry. There's so much more I want to do of it, and I've only feel like I just like scratched the surface, and I have so much from all the information I've taken in that I still need to practice and do something with. Same with like David and Aloria. There's so much in their oil painting and color theory courses and like how these are kind of getting into daily visions. It's just like things I kept trying to produce and practice and push myself to keep creating. The gyro discovery guy. And yeah, and then some cat portraits I did for friends and my friend's grandmother drew and then painted a portrait of her. And this was a lot quicker. This was direct oil painting and it only took 2.5 days, which is short. And then started doing watercolor portraits of Zane's friends for their birthday parties, my nephew and my friend's kid. And these were really fun. Yeah, but I haven't, and then that was just a moment. And I did my dad. I haven't finished him, but he's an oil painting. But I did it live painting at the nursing home, and that was really important to me to like do that. And then these are recent commissions from this summer where my cousin asked me to do his kids, and I was really happy to do that. And I felt really truly honored, and it was just really nice to do it. And I hope to do more for other people. We'll see. They're charcoal drawings with some pastel, but so then the most recent painting, which I did put up here, is this one. I was going to show the process. This was called La Madre. I put a few process pictures. This took me 5 months, and it was after a silent retreat, and started like this. So the first day of the silent retreat, I used charcoal. There was a skull there. What's it called? A buffalo skull. And this was my image, and I was really mad. That's why she's saying like "fuck you," fuck the patriarchy. And yeah, it has a scar right here from the C-section, and like some other scars going on. But then I got the color in, and then there was guns and needles back here, and all the destruction of Gaza in the background because I was just like kind of like I couldn't really drop it out of my psyche even like and it was really stressing me out and the flowers came in though because we were drinking rose medicine and rose and bobensana tea every day 3 liters of it so that you were like kind of embodying the spirit. And then slowly, this is by the end of the week after 5 days, I actually kind of completed the painting to this point and I had these roses and then but the person in the middle here, this is the Bobasana. It became more in, peace and like trusting and like meditation, centering. Oh, those are your handprints, sweetie. And then 5 months later, it did take me 5 months, I think, and then this is how the painting ended up. But there was a lot of struggle between them to to get like the image kind of make sense. But
And this thing up, Mama.
Yeah, Zane just found his thing with his handprints, so he's wondering like
And it's up.
it's clay and there's handprints and his feet prints.
How do you open
It was
up?
opening up another way, but yeah. So anyway, just that's the last slide. Anyway,
Doesn't have planned on.
we can do it again one day, buddy.
Oh, my
Not right now. Here, come up here. I'm gonna say hi to Marina again.
God.
Hi, Zane. You're having fun with the presentation. You like the artworks? Yeah? What you think? Cool. Very
Mama, I want to see the gun. The needle and gun ones.
cool.
Oh, the
Yeah.
needles and gun ones.
Uh-huh. It's
That's
behind
fun.
everything.
Yeah. So now at the end it's peaceful. She's like living on Earth. It's not like, okay, I don't really need to feature all that. I'm gonna focus on like the plant life, the beauty, the harmony. And maybe that's kind of like the teaching for the whole journey. And that's what I'm saying. I don't really know what to focus on in regards to that, but it is part of the story for now. Um, it's like, yeah, I feel sometimes like, and I was reading quotes from the Bible, so it's like Jesus would talk about the final desired result, not about the problem, you know? And
Jump over to
I resonate with that for sure. And regarding this presentation, I honestly thought like I wouldn't maybe talk about some of that stuff, but it's what's led
Oh,
me to
but
here. Maybe I won't one day, but
Okay, so what
it's
I
amazing. I am really glad that you made this presentation as it was. I was like completely into what you were bringing to us because everything is so new. Like even though we are here together for 5 years, I know like very, very little. I saw some of these artworks being done, but you made so much more and this is the intention here, like to for you to bring yeah, what you are. Yes. And it's really really interesting to know everything about you
have.
and like how your life, the progress of your life, like how from the little kid that likes to draw, that's very colorful, that's very happy in the farm, very creative, and becomes a scientist, like British British Columbia University master. Like I feel like I am, like I'm not that educated to talk to you, like wow, that's so incredible. And yeah, to know that you're really proud of your this path that you have. It's beautiful, Michelle. Like, yeah, it's really interesting, like your uh the impulse, like what made the inspiration that made you follow this path. Thanks for sharing. It's really beautiful. And well, I have a few questions that I want to ask you about. I see that art, it's been like something really therapeutic in your life. Like, how do you feel about painting? Like, what do you feel when you paint? Like, and this transformation from like your the 18-year-old and now.
oh my gosh. Well, it's interesting. Sometimes it feels how do you feel when you paint? It depends. Like sometimes it's stressful and it's not fun. Um, sometimes like because I feel like there's a lot of pressure that also comes on ourselves around it, and like sometimes wondering where I'm going or if I need to be an artist, and like creating pressure around it that I don't need to have sometimes. So needing to kind of like
Toy.
find
But
that
was it always
balance.
like this? Because you had so many mentors, like so many teachers, to accomplish some of these visions. So, like always this pressure, or like how does it flow?
No, I didn't mean to make it sound like negative, but um yeah, I definitely feel privileged that I've had all these teachers and that I've just signed up for things like that. And
Mhm.
no,
When do
what's your
you meet
question?
when do you meet Amanda? Like when do
2000.
you find about these courses of paintings of like te these techniques, because you say you've been to
Think about that thing.
Coloriat. It's really beautiful. Yeah, but when you meet like these when you meet Amanda, what was going on? Like why did you decide to go to this painting class and follow this? When was it?
Well, I think it was 2017 when I went to her workshop the first time.
Mhm.
Um,
And did you know
and
like visionary art before it, or
no, I
no?
didn't
It
know
was just
anything about visionary. I didn't even know Alex Gray's art, and I thought it was like kind of weird. And like
so you
I went to Cosm. I didn't quite like resonate with it yet. Like until years later, then you're just like, no, like I totally resonate. Even like it took a while to like understand Allison's work, especially since going to Entheon and seeing their work. Like, but I worked with them too, and yeah, like but Amanda's is what called me in. I think it had this feminine kind of more like energetic feel. Like I was really into the gyro and like that energy. Like I was feeling like I was drawing like similar lines and drawings to like her. So, but but like no, there's times why I love painting. It's because it takes me to a place where I feel like I'm connected to a greater power, and that's why I've been like I feel like it's been a while since I've reached there because I don't know, got a lot going on, I guess. But like a lot of times when I would be up late till like 4 or 5 in the morning, a lot during COVID, especially where it's just like I mean, I'd be like up, feel like I'm like connecting with my higher self, like I'm speaking to some kind of consciousness. Like this awareness is so strong, your presence and awareness is so strong. And get into this kind of flow state where it feels like you this is what exactly what you need to be doing. Like I don't know how else to describe it. Like feeling healing on that level because it feels like um, yeah, like a chance to talk to God, kind of like in I don't know what language to use there, but even that's why I love sacred geometry, like especially. But but there's something about like the flow state because it depends where you are in the process of painting and where, yeah, when you get into those flow states, that's that's where I feel like there's healing, there's greater healing that is like unspeakable to me. I don't even know how to speak it. I'm not a neuroscientist like to explain it. I just need to experience it and like trust it. And so that's what I felt. And then other times later, maybe like putting too much weight on that, but still trying to find the balance of it all. Like what makes sense in the world to create art and make money. It's just like it's like this it's like a whole puzzle you got to figure out of like how it fits for you. But I feel really called to teaching because I've been working as I didn't even mention it, but like a teacher, I've been working since January as a Catholic school board teacher, emergency supply teacher. It doesn't matter that it's Catholic, it's just where I went to school. And I love it so much, and it's such a great opportunity to inspire kids. And like, I think there's so much there for me in teaching art for kids and other people because I'm so inspired and I've been so moved by it. And I know when I show the kids and stuff, they're like totally moved by it. And maybe that's something, a direction I'll be going as I continue to like just I don't know, move through life and find the right path. But
Mhm.
a
Yeah,
meaningful
amazing.
path. It's like not right or wrong, but like a meaningful path and a meaningful path that feels like connected to this feeling that I get from painting, maybe is how I come back to the question. But
Yes, for sure. It's you made the two together, and it's yeah, art is a really powerful means to connect the swords, and painting, yes, it's a very interesting way to feel grounded and connected. And for sure, these late nights brings us all these visions, and it's really interesting to see the transformations that your artwork made in such a short period, because it's not like you're not even painting for you had this course with Amanda like not even 10 years ago, and your painting has done wow, such a big leap. It's really beautiful to see.
thanks. I don't know if there's like a past life thing where I've already like was working at it or something that made it feel
Or your
easier, but
focus and your techniques, that the way that you work with your hands and your brain. Yeah. Mhm. And yeah, speaking about body movement, this gyrokinesis, wow, I cannot even imagine how your body must feel after so many breaks. Like, I broke all my fingers, I broke all my elbows, I broke my wrists, my foot, I broke everything, my nose, I broke a lot of things, but one in each time. Like you had this accident that transformed your body. Like, how was it? Like, yeah, and this connection to the movement that you mentioned. Like, how did you discover this, and like, what was the change you feel in
Yes,
your
my
life?
baby.
well, the discovery was being in chronic pain, and the discovery of the exercises was realizing like I have been totally moving from externally instead of internally. So when I started to learn how to move from internal perspective, it totally transformed like re everything because yeah, when we grow up in these competitive sports or like dance or these ways where we're performing, and we're always performing like from the outside and pushing ourselves. But then to learn like, oh, we can actually move like from a connected way within and like allow the intention to be like within and then travel through the body. I feel like much more connected and whole and yeah, like paradigm shift in the way like we're seeing the
Yeah, but
body.
like, how was it for your body? How was it for your life? Like this, getting to know these exercises, and yeah.
Sorry. No, it was like crazy. The first time I did this exercise in the machine, I'm like, I stood up and I just like I felt space between each vertebrae. It was just like, what the? Like I'm trying like all of these things, gyro, massage, physio, Pilates, like, and yeah, something was just not so much different, allowing space between the joints. So I felt like I feel taller after every session. I feel like so different, and um I feel
And
free
yeah,
like dancing after like I feel like the body like it gets so rigid and tough and stuck and we're like locked in and numb and then we like and when I do the exercise as soon as you do the exercise like the body feel like free like dancing and like this expressive and like it I guess it's allowing energy to travel through similar and that's why it has like roots in Kundalini because like it's not just like moving, but it's like about like yeah, something inside traveling through and out. And
mm. Yeah, it's really interesting. People listening, gyrokinesis, you saw in the presentation how it spells. It's weird, but it's so interesting. Like this machine that so you went to Germany to learn this, like where it was studied.
Yeah, and I didn't actually even touch on the machine, but the machine's called gyrotonic, and I showed a picture briefly, but it's so cool because it's kind of like it's like a compass, like it's like sacred geometry for the body. Like we have our little compass and a pencil and paper, to make it like a nice perfect circle. And this machine is like circular and it kind of like, it's like osteopathic because it's like following the the structure of the bones and the way the bones move. So it's beyond the muscle and it's somewhere like in this energy body. But yeah, that's why I love it. And I'll probably do it for a long time. And I am certified to teach. And like, I don't know, like if teaching, I want to teach and spread it, but we'll have to see what the timing is and the signs and what brings me there. But I know I have to continue practicing it to teach it and to be like really embodying the work and understanding it and maybe it's just a stepping stone to something else too. Like it's because it's just a modality, and then we jump on these modalities and we're like, oh, we need to teach it and blah blah blah. Like maybe it's I don't know, like there's something I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. I love it though. I don't know in what way and shape and form I'm gonna like. I don't know what my career is and which way I'm going and what is what. But all these things make me me, and but I don't need to be like possessed and over identified with them. But they're part of my story, and if they've helped me, there's probably other people they could help too, and that's what I have to remember and to. There's a reason I'm like
Mm-hmm.
learning.
Yes. Yes, and your life story, come on, it's everyone has a unique story, but you, like, when did you learn that you had the gene of the disease of your family? When?
Oh, actually, right after my car accident, actually,
Uh-huh.
when my dad got diagnosed with the disease, I was in my bachelor in biotechnology. And then when he was like, we already kind of knew he was gonna have it, like it's just kind of a feeling. And then when he got officially diagnosed, I was in this program, and that's when I knew, like, okay, I'm officially at risk because he got diagnosed. Because if he didn't, then it's out of your family, like it's this 50% thing. And yeah, then I wanted to get tested for it because I saw a researcher online who was doing research in it and was tested, and I thought that was just cool. And like I don't know if it was a good reason to get tested, but I was warned by insurance companies or no, by the genetic counselor at the time to like you will be denied all life insurance. You'll never get life insurance, and like what do I think about that at 20 years old? I don't know. But then when I got into the near-death car accident, I was so happy to be alive and so lucky to be living that I decided to take the test then. So I was 22 years old and I got the test while I was in the hospital. And yeah, the test said that I have this genetic mutation. Um, which like I want to be careful what I'm speaking my words into, even saying this now. Like I don't necessarily repeat that often or talk about it because I question, I'm
Yes.
like, could there be, maybe there could be a mistake to the test. Maybe there could be, because you think our DNA can change. I don't know. Like, I've watched a lot of weird, interesting things over the years and been open to learning about miracles and different things that happen to people. And like, there is like interesting stories of miracles and things happening and changing and diagnosis. Especially this hasn't even happened yet. So, but then, yeah, it's of course the balance between like acceptance, radical acceptance, and then
Yeah,
and
that is
like
deep acceptance, like in a very deep level, like strong, like you need to be really strong to
Oh.
be able to, you really need to not only to believe, but I think you experience these changes, these possibilities of DNA and these transformations like in your life. And well, we all know we are going one day somewhere somehow, so why suffering in advance and cherish the life and the health that you have here now.
Yeah, so there's like he's volumes. There's like yeah, some positive to it where it make you feel like really grateful for life, and then like, oh, you got to get some done and blah blah blah. But then yeah, definitely there's the negative of feeling like stress and not having enough time or like worrying about it. And I've definitely had a lot of even like having a partner and then thinking how you say this and if they want to be with someone, like knowing that or not, and it's not like something that I wish to know or something I wish to tell somebody. And yeah, like I don't know, I have to say like out loud, I feel like I believe I do believe I do know that we can affect the expression of our DNA.
Yeah,
Thousand
you
percent.
know this.
I don't
Yes, yeah.
know, I don't know if we can change the blueprint to what we've been born with, you know. But the expression, absolutely 1,000%. And whether we know how or not, we know there's environmental factors, and we know like environmental enrichment, and of course it comes down to our attitude and beliefs and the way we want to like perceive and like the visionary art we want to create for our life, you know. But there's a limit to the amount we can control, I guess. And be humbling ourselves to that too, because there's a greater power, at work, and we are not like the greatest power. And we humble ourselves to understand that, and that we are all equals, like that everybody's in the same boat. And so yeah, somewhere finding that balance.
Yes, it is a unique perceive of life, and I'm really grateful that you shared this with us because the way you speak about it is really with truth. It's really like with light, with the, like with this. Uh, you see the disease, but it's not about the disease. It's about like what you say. It's about the healing. It's about the fixing of the problem, not in the problem itself. Like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And yeah,
yeah.
I think like, we've all been those moments where we feel like eternal and like, or timeless, those moments. And
Mhm.
what the most
Yes,
important
and
thing is
wow.
love.
And wow, to know this after the accident, like, okay, let's have a rebirthing life, big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and well, this traumatic experience, yay. This traumatic experience, I really appreciate that you share because some of us have these connections that we've been through an accident, we've been through something really traumatic that changed our life, that changed our perspective and how we perceive life. So it's really, I'm really grateful that you bring this to us. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
well,
I like hearing other people's stories too, so it's good to share.
yes, and share a little bit more about the Academy of Visionary Art in Vienna. I didn't know you went there. I am so surprised with the ones that I interview here on the Vision Train in Focus. I For me it was a surprise when Joe said he went to the Vienna Academy of Visionary Art. I was like, "What, you?" And now you.
Yeah, like I know it's funny. I never even like was took art, and I didn't know anything about visionary art. Like ended up, but well, I just met Amanda and I took her workshops twice, and then where was I? I got to look at my presentation, like for my chronological order. But yeah, I was, when I went to Amanda's workshop, I just like left this other program. So I was lost and like went to her painting thing. And then yeah, I just like it was probably a year or two later, but I was having a breakup again, and I feel lost and like felt like didn't know what to do. And I had a lot of money from waitressing all summer. I was waitressing in like Algonquin Park area, tourist, beautiful nature spot. And then yeah, I just took the plunge. I wanted to go there because Amanda talked about it like in her presentation. So you kind of get like hints and like things that like spark you. And that kind of did. And I didn't even really care who the teacher was, but it ended up being Autumn Sky, which was great because she's like a Canadian artist. And I was grateful to learn from her. And I don't know if I would have actually really signed up with her, but it just like worked out that way. And
How
I'm
many
glad
days was it?
it was 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no, but I'm glad I put up with her, signed up with her because she was just like really really such a strong like stable lighthouse. Like she has really strong boundary too, like just like really strong in her artwork and like just like kind of was an interesting example of someone to learn from who was very like strong in themselves and she yeah, and it was cool technique to learn all in acrylic paint too. And I met some friends there, like some good, that I'm still friends with, like Veronica and Mateo and a few other people. Stefan I met there. And yeah, 5 weeks was good. Like it was good. It took me on that painting journey for 5 weeks. So didn't
Wow,
have
what a
much to say
deep
about it. Just had a
dive.
good time, and I was like uber serious. I was too stressed every time I went to a painting workshop. I'm like at the front door, like want to paint every like extra minute. I want to paint. Like I just took it a little too serious, probably, but I don't know why. I just like I just this like other diagnosis thing. It just always feels like this is the end of time. Like this is the end of time. Like this is the last chance to do something. And like kind of like I've gotten less strict. I get more into, but like, yeah, I kind of let that go because it feels better to be like more in the present moment, be like, no, like all is good. We're here now. Like I'm not rushing for a cure. And like, I didn't even touch on it, Science of Man, but doing all that work, like with Amanda and Joe Bob leading the Science of Man the past 2 years, a few years ago, like I had Zane as a baby when we started that, and it was really important for me because a lot of the metaphors, like with finding a cure and being in that vicious cycle, like I totally resonated and saw myself in that and could kind of have another view. And I'm still reading it and I'm still reading it every morning, trying to, but there's a lot to learn. But like bringing me back to the Bible verses and things and interesting things that are I love like breaking down that stuff into more like simplistic ways that we can understand that makes sense, like why these mythologies have been going on for so long, because there is truth to them, there's spiritual law to them that we have to understand. And I don't take it lightly at all that it's come into my life for me to look at. And different spiritual teachers. Like I want to do portraits of all the teachers like that I listen to and that keep me on track, I feel like. But anyway, I'm going on a tangent here.
Yes, do it. No, do it. No, come on. The next question, it is about the vision train. Oh, such a sweet
It's
guy.
sleeping.
Oh, he's such a sweet guy. Yes, he's in the balance of the rhythm of our your life story. Yeah. Well, yeah, thanks for sharing about this experience in Vienna Academy. For me, it was always like a dream. We used to always see these courses and say, "Oh, I will never be able to go there," but I'm really glad to meet people that get to enjoy this time there and get to meet this crew that was made there and this beautiful art, many art network made there. So yeah, thanks for
Mm.
sharing. And talking about art network, you were mentioning about the Vision Train. So how did you find the Vision Train?
Um, I was like the third person on, I think. I was like the third, fourth, or fifth person on because I was so like, yeah, desperate. I was so
Yeah,
desperate.
to that.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like I was living by myself in Toronto, subletting a place, and I was living by myself, and I just like was still brokenhearted. Like I was so alone. I was like so sad. So I was so like and I disbelief and honor that there was like a chance to connect with other artists and like our teacher Amanda Sage. So and be painting with her suddenly and be like, wow, like I'm part of something, instead of feeling so alone. So I felt really good, and I pretty much stayed on there every day throughout the whole 2 years. And I
And what
worked a
trip did
part-time
you?
job just to like live the Vision Train life.
Uh-huh. Wow. Yeah, and did you host any trip in the beginning?
Yeah, I did like 8-hour trips at the beginning, just like playing music. And I think that's all I ever wanted on there. I had the best times on there when it was just music jams, like the talking could get a lot, but like it's nice too in its own ways. Um, but yeah, then I started hosting gyrokinesis too. More recent years, I don't know why I haven't been. I've been trained in it for so long, and I've been taking online courses for like over 10 years. Like I totally can. And I've been giving them. And this Saturday, for example, I was going to do one, but I'm going to like a town affair to do face painting. So I don't want to miss out on that to like be at the computer for an hour. But I would like to offer it on the Vision Train, on the Express members track, probably. Um, at least once a
Mhm.
month. But to be realistic, I was thinking every other week or something. But yeah, definitely like to I'm capable.
Mhm. And how do you think that the vision train affect your life? Like in what ways? And yeah.
Um, No, it totally brought me community and connection, and that mycelial network of life thriving through the shit. And um, it inspired me, man. I took like lots of courses. I painted so much more than I ever would have alone. To have that like network cheering you on, like there was a purpose to it, and there was like a purpose to it. There's like, what's the purpose? I don't know, because everybody else we're cheering each other on, so it's the purpose. But no, because we feel a deep longing to do it, but then when you're surrounded by people who like put it down, it can really deaden you. So to have like a little network where you feel like totally supported and uplifted by, it's like, come on. And it was life changing. Like, if I didn't have that during that time, I don't even know. Like, but,
Yeah,
so
like in
it's only
2020.
positive in so many ways I can't even describe.
Like how many arts did we create in 2020 alone? Like wow.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes. Eh,
and
I'm
everything we learned
really,
just about like community and talking and like all the science of man eventually too and everything. But
yes. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, the vision train, it's a blessing in all our lives and changed all our lives. And I'm really grateful. And Michelle, your life is really beautiful, my friend. I am truly honored to talk to you and to have this presentation of you here on the Vision Train Focus. We had a few comments on the chat. I will share. Suri is not here anymore, but she said, I relate to your journey, Michelle. Thank you for your expansive experience and sharing your authentic heart. It's beautiful to see into your story in this way with your son and your beautiful creations of movement and compassion.
Aw. That's nice.
Yes, that's really nice. And wow, you're creating of movements and compassion. Yes. Even your visual art, you say you're a dancer before, and then you do gyrokinesis and you face paint as well. Like, wow, a lot of movement in your creation. It's beautiful to see like it all together. It makes so much sense to see it all together.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I ended up in like when I was in pharmaceutical research, and then like I already had the car accident, so I do feel like NDEs bring you to this higher aspect of love, even though you have to come back to Earth, and it's like, and then it sucks because like we're all like not there yet, but like you see it, but yeah, then I always felt like I was always the one preaching like love is the way, but then I was the one who had to go work in a nursing home and be a personal support worker for like, and like say care is the way, but then I had to go do the care and see for myself, like, um, put myself in those shoes. I don't know if that's really the power of my word. And what we really say is important, and then we have to experience it and really like live it. So I'm still working on it because I do feel like love is the highest love is absolutely like healing and like beyond like the love of God can probably heal anything and anybody through miracles and like but like to get to that level of love and to like truly be open and ready to receive it because we are living it, it's like takes a while, I guess, and it's a journey, but yeah, that's what I'm like. I still feel like I want to write a book one day or like do something or other, but yeah, I just feel like there's nothing more important than like, yeah, balancing our relations and I'm still working on it. Like I'm not like,
We are
I see the
alive.
importance of it, but
Yes, we are alive. We are
anyway.
in this process of transformation. Yes, it's beautiful to hear your words. Thanks for sharing. And I would like to know if there anyone here in the room that wants to share or have any questions to ask about Michelle's life. You can unmute or put it in the chat. If there's anyone, if
I
nobody.
loved seeing all your work together, Michelle. It was really beautiful to see the chronology and just how, just knowing you personally and knowing how each day is can be difficult, like seeing all the beauty of your family and the beauty that you create. And I just think it's really revolutionary. And I think, knowing Amanda these years and knowing you as well, like I just see you as a true accolade of painting with the light, specifically in regard to the portraiture. So I just want to say kudos to you and kudos to all the painting of the light students and Amanda and Marina and Chantel and Abra and Rev Paul and Sudie Bell, and love all you guys so much. Thank you for contributing to my life and your life's works.
Thanks, Sammy. I appreciate you so much. And like you've been such a huge part of my journey. So yeah, but it's been a busy summer, I guess. But I love you, and I'm like so grateful for our friendship, and look forward to continuing to see how everything comes together and evolves for our work. Um, yeah, I think portraitures, like, yeah, I've never imagined. I don't know why I'm doing portraitures. Not like I was ever like, oh, I want to be a portrait artist. But I know Amanda like hinted and suggested like doing portraits is a great way to practice and get good art. And so like I don't know why I end up doing it, but I do like it is actually kind of like great embodiment of love, like I was just talking about, because like when you're doing a portrait, like it's so much love for the person gets to come through. And that's what's so beautiful and healing about the portrait, I feel like. But if it's not coming through good, it's very frustrating and it's very hard. And that happened a lot in self portraits. And you start to witness though, wow, like this the mood you start to be in affects the portrait and like the effect, especially when it's a self portrait. And like so yeah, like but the love of the portraits you can see because it's just the love for beauty and like honoring that beauty and light in other people and that is a reflection of you too because we're all reflections of each other. So I guess it's pretty that's why it's kind of magical. And I think sometimes I wonder like what the heck am I doing? Like when I was doing the kids' portraits, I'm like they came over and I took pictures of them all because I wanted to take the pictures for the portraits. The pictures are so beautiful. I was like, just the pictures of them alone are beautiful. Like they can hang these on their wall. Like but I'm like, so why am I doing this portrait? Like, oh my God. But like I felt guided by like a greater power, like God, the universal intelligence, like it's just happening. Like I have to do these portraits now. And I'm happening but it's like I don't know like what it is. Like I even remember messaging Amanda or something. But like I'm like, why do we do this? Like but there's something that happens to me maybe while I'm doing it. I don't know, but then it happens to the viewer at the end too, where it's like it's so meaningful, even though you're just trying to copy a photograph of something you took, or like try to copy, mimic God. But that process in itself is what's beautiful because you're honoring life and like you're praising life and like yeah, creating something like eternal that's beautiful. I don't know. It's kind of special. And I don't know what like I don't really know why it's all happening, but
Yes, and it's beautiful, and it has your expression to these paintings, to these portraits. It's not like it's not copying a picture. It's giving your interpretation and putting out your love and expression to these paintings. And it's really unique. And wow, you do it. Yeah, incredibly, completely guided.
thank you.
Thank you. Dylan, Chantel, Abra, you feel like sharing something? Well, Chantel said here in the chat before, thanks for sharing your story. When we have the courage to share all the bits, brings so much depth and wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was nice. I saw that. I know it's
indeed.
funny because there's all this self-doubt and with a lot of my paintings, it's like I want to paint them over at the end and cover them up from self-doubt or something like something. But it's nice. Like, of course, when I listen to other people's stories and I listen to other people be more real, like I feel better. Like it makes me feel good. It makes me feel more relatable and connected to other people. So it's just, there's
Yeah,
nothing
we
to be
all have
ashamed of.
a.
There's nothing to hide.
Mhm. Yes, nothing to be ashamed and to hide. We all have our path that leads us to here. Yeah. Yeah, Abra is sharing on the chat. I feel very fortunate to be here tonight and hear Michelle's story. I'm mostly speechless and in awe. Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing, Abra. It's really nice to have you here on the Vision Train. Yes. Well, Michelle, how you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm very happy. And I'm so happy that my son's just sleeping in my arms. It makes me feel good. He never falls asleep this easy. So, yeah, it was
Mhm.
a bit late tonight, but I feel good. I feel good. I'm very happy to share and just get it off my chest and get it out of the way and to get more comfortable with what I want to share, I guess, and refining. Yeah, like I originally I thought maybe I would just share my screen, go through my website because most of the pictures I took were off my website. So if you want
You
to
wanna
check out my website, yeah,
You
because
want
I
to share
think
here?
yeah, like I guess I'll just share this one part because this is one part I did miss. Share screen. Like this is my website, but
Mhm.
yeah, this is all up there. But this one, where is it? Oh, the portraits, the self-portraits, because I did a lot of them like every year since I was in Amanda's workshop.
Wow.
The oldest one was this one probably, and then this one, and then this one, no, this one, this one. Like every year I'm doing one, so it feels like good. And yeah, this is like was my the father of my child and different friends that I would do too, and my niece and like these kids, but I think they're really important, especially the self-portraits. I don't know. Like charcoal drawings are so fun. They only take like 3 hours. If you just commit to 3 hours, it's like, wow, you can get a whole memory of your whole history in 3 hours if you just sit down and focus instead of sitting on your phone and scrolling. Like, so worth it, you know? Like, even though there's like a block in front of it, but because they're all describing different stories in life. But anywho, I think I mostly showed everything else on here anyway at this point. I did. But I put like a link over here to like even more photos that was that I bring to the school when I go to school to teach kids and stuff so that I can show them more like progress shots and like this one I did last year, like a plein air in the backyard where I got in my car accident and I was just so stressed that like just to be alive, I needed to go paint where I almost died so that I could just like breathe and relax. It's so funny. But yeah, most of them I already showed. Oh, but the big thing was like I was drawing 60 days. Like we had the daily visions. I'm so grateful for Amanda and instigating the daily visions. And look, this is Danielle who was talking before, my sweet, sweet friend. I love her so much. And Joe Bob and Amanda and RFK. No, but like I was drawing every day to like for 60 days. And it's amazing how much your skill can develop. And like I would love to paint that one too. But so these paintings of the bear and goat, they came from drawings that I did from these animals in a museum. But I was drawing every day for it was just amazing. And I didn't start to realize how much 10 minutes can mean. I had a baby and it's like 10 minutes can mean so much. Like even while they were eating lunch and you're like 10 minutes, keep working on the sketch. Like it can happen. It's like so important. And I really want to implement this kind of practice in my life again. And yeah, no, I haven't. I don't know why. I don't have excuse, but um yeah, because even working as a teacher, it's like you have your lunch break, you have your break here. You're amazed what you can get done in 10 minutes. Like how long one of these drawings actually took. It's not that long when you're like sit down, just 20 minutes. Like these are stockings I made, which were pretty cute for Christmas. Um, where I had like the whole personality of the person in the stocking, and what that was with felt. And that was for me here, my son, the baby, and the Dutch. There's my kitty, my painter. Anywho, like yeah, I don't need to go through all these or anything, but it's nice. I have like I started to put some products on my website, which is only like e-transfer. I don't have actual payment system set up, but it feels good to like have something on my website that's even a print or a card. And then some services like I did get help with ChatGPT on this for now for just some ideas of how to lay that out with portrait commissions and stuff. I would love to do private art lessons or tutoring, but I would love to do that. It just comes down to marketing it and finding the people, right? But like I'm so made for that. But yeah, and then the movement and wellness, the gyrotonic and gyrokinesis stuff. I have my own equipment and I don't have a studio. And things are gonna change in the next year where I definitely I'm gonna be moving and having to get my life on track more independently than from others. So I don't know where I'm gonna end up in the next year. Probably Barry, if anybody out there knows where Barry is, but we'll see. Anyway,
Yeah, it's a beautiful path, Michelle, and we never know what to expect in the future, but you have many beautiful skills at in your hands. Yeah, I'm sure everything will be great.
yeah, thanks, Marina. I love you. I love coming on the Vision Chain, on your hone in and your other events, and like felt your stability throughout these past few years, especially as it's winding down, and like to know like you're always on there, and that's nice. It's like nice to join in and like feel that kind of comfort, and I always feel your vibe too, and it takes me into the art. So like you're amazing for being that stable, like to be that consistent. I mean, and to be, yeah, just love. Like you're very like pure, your presence, and it feels good.
Thank you. I really appreciate to connect with you, Michelle. And yeah, your present is really valid for me. And now mostly your life story and all the art that you create. And I'm really glad that you joined the Hone In and we get to create together and see all this art's evolution. Yeah, I saw that. How you were frustrated with those last portraits of your cousins. Yeah.
What, my cousin's kids?
Yeah, yeah, the portrait. Yeah, I remember that. I was there to help you through it, and you did it beautifully.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I really appreciate. So yeah, my friends, if anyone has anything to share, I think we are, yeah, now it's September 11 and now it's 22:44 here in Brazil, Brazil time. Well, nice time to wrap it up. So, Michelle, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. We love you. Little Zane's sleeping, but he loves you too.
yay.
Green baby.
Put this little kid to rest. And my friends, you're there in the recordings. Thank you so much for being here with us and all of you here, Chantel, Dylan, and the Gunnison Art Center crew. Thank you so much for the present. I really enjoy to be here with you all. And my friends, this is the Vision Train. It's a non-stop global art jam where you can jump in anytime on this Zoom call and create art together with artists from all over the globe. I host a trip every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for 3 hours. So every Wednesday I'm here on the train. So come on, jump and create art with us. And now I will continue to groove and paint. And well, I see you all on the next Vision Train Focus. Thank you.